Hello, hello! How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome to Omega Leo and Ash and Soleil and Cass. It does make me really, really happy that that people have been so excited about this game. Obviously, I've been too, given that we are playing it again. um, So, for anyone who may have missed my Discord um, or Twitter posts, oh, there's a Frank as well. Hi there. I didn't see you before I said that. There's a Frank too. Anyway, if you didn't see my tweets or Discord posts, I've been very much engrossed by this game, as rough as it has been, at times at least. So I'm going to actually be playing this on both Thursdays and Sundays through to completion. I don't think there's actually too much left. So it's the difference between, you know, playing it for another week, week and a half versus it stretching into, you know, another month. So, yeah, it it makes me happy to see so many people tune in, even though it's not the usual time for this game. So, speaking of this game, if you are not familiar with Disco Elysium, it is great. The writing is fantastic, and the narrative system and mechanics are super, super clever and very engrossing and very replayable, but also it does cover some rough topics. So, if you're not in the mood to be in the shoes of a policeman who is not bad at being a detective, but he's bad at being a person, while still needing to navigate all of the things that detectives might need to do, like interrogating vulnerable witnesses, or discussing death, or performing autopsies, or even just you don't want to experience some of the social woes that are showcased by this game, poverty and racism and so on and so forth. No worries if you need to take a break, but if you can stomach it, if you're willing to give it a shot, I've really, really been enjoying this game. Also, hi there, Cthulhu! So, that being said, let's try to remember where we were, huh? Okay, so. I think there were some other thoughts that I wanted to internalize, so maybe I am going to do one of these first. Okay, so let's break down the type of person that our good detective is here. So also, like, you learning casts are raised by one. I feel like that's still useful. So we are feminist. We are communist. We only have 2 hours left until we realize that we're bi. I do really like the idea of our Harry being, or at least trying to be, better than he was. Having a little bit of a creative streak, a little bit of book smarts, and also, obviously, gay and communist. So, that being said, I think Lonesome Long Way Home was the one that we could have the best... Yeah, race is the learning cap for perception, and I do like perception. I have committed to being pretty clean. So I think... Was it cleaning out the rooms? That was about, you know, like, trying to internalize, like, the fate of the world and the Pale and stuff like that. I think that was the next one we were looking at. As much as I would love to, Aw, Frank. Thank you for the resub. 26 months, wow. That's... As always, it's incredibly kind of you. But yeah, as much as I would like to be an EDM fiend, or to really internalize the clean lifestyle, I think cleaning out the rooms is the one we were looking at. So, time to forget where our home is and internalize. The horrors of reality. More about missing memories than the Pale. Ah. Ah, true, true. So, I do really like the church side quest and everything connected to it. Learning about, like, learning the setting's religion, learning about the Pale, getting a bunch of shitty kids into a church, creating a club out of it, and then putting them in mortal danger. Getting to see an uptight woman like experience sheer joy and accomplishment in finally proving her thesis right. It's good shit. Anyway. So, Steban is after, after 10 p.m. Back at, what's her name? The child in the fishing village. We do still need to interrogate Klasia, but I might still need some time on that. Me personally. We do need to refill some traps. Talk to the dice maker. I'm sure that the firearm will come up eventually. We do need to take a shower. And talking to Evrard is definitely the next big thing that we need to do. So, since we are already up here, I guess we will head toward Evrard, who I am incapable of saying any other way. And we'll work up to confronting an allegedly assaulted woman about lying to us later. And this way we get to check in on our best friend. The locked container!
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Rhetoric. Do I have anything that improves rhetoric? Either Kaizad or the suspicious lack of Kaizad. Thank you for the lurk. T-Rex emoji affectionate. Survey says nothing. Also, Nikova, hello, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I so wish I had different pants. The jeans look slightly more natural in this. I think natural is it's kind of a long shot in general. Just popping in? No worries, it's good to see you. Well, time to fish for a 17% chance.
Not lessened since you were last here.
Nope.
As it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with rhetoric. Maybe you're losing your mind.
I mean, it's kind of already lost, but I get your point. Children's primer. We can do that after talking to Erot. It's not a fishing rod, is it? It's... What is it? Anyway. Hello.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Everett Clare do for you today?
Mail the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
See, forging that signature really paid off. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in. You don't know his full plan. Perhaps he expected trickery. Perhaps the signatures weren't important. The point is, do not think you're ahead of him.
Do we want to confront him with it? He's just going to be a slime ball and we go out of it. And it might hurt our standing with him. So... Did you order the hanged man killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
I really like the touch that you can you can hear the like the hornet and bee metaphor once and then just commit to it every time it comes up. Have you ever heard what two giant Ceres hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They destroy it.
I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies.
That is actually true, and it's fucking metal.
He crosses his hands contently, thinking of the interior temperature of the wasp rising.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How's this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
What?
Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying.
Actually, no, it's not.
Thank you, Rhetoric. Why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol.
How are you going to fund your new independent harbor?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
You can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
What kinds of bold, new, exotic revenue streams are we talking about?
Haven't you seen the crates outside, Harry? There's all sorts of fun stuff inside them. I mean, heck, this one has you and the lieutenant, me, and my novelty swordfish clock.
Did he just deflate slightly? Was there something he wanted you to ask about? Maybe you should come back if you learn something relevant and ask again.
About what's in the containers? About what's in the empty container? That I need to rhetoric my way open?
You should definitely come back here and ask again if you learn more about the Union's dealings. There's something he's not telling you.
Okay. Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Fine, where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy, the one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway.
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
She was waving it around at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
It sounds like a very disturbed and desperate individual.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
You set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
Well, I mean, I would love to, but also I have a communist meeting to attend. Uh-oh.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
Cool. Thanks, Inland Empire.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open. I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. Very nice, Harry. Most
Just
certainly,
murder.
Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you.
There was a bullet in the hangman's head, by the way.
So they shot him.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
Thanks, Drama.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my two little policemen. Godspeed, policeman.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, Harry, what's on your mind? Great.
Regarding
You want to
Joyce.
bounce something off your old friend, Mr. Clare? Absolutely, Harry.
Well, that's something. So I guess should we up our rhetoric and try save scumming this container? I don't want to. How close am I to my next level up? We're pretty close. Is there anything else that we are specifically waiting on? Don't care about those. Glacia. I feel like the only ones we care about here are Glacia and honestly the cargo container. Also, yeah, I have chosen my dump stat. So yeah, let's get rhetorical. And also cheat the laws of nature.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer had
I'll give it a few tries. I have... Wait, what do you mean day one? Has it just been renamed that? Whoa, okay, sure.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not
I have
lost here. If anything,
0 pieces of clothing that
bone
that
side.
enhance rhetoric.
Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails
Well,
A beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Also, yes, I have been I've been overwriting saves. I just forgot that that it would keep the name. Hello? Anyone in there?
The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again.
There's someone in there. I'd like to talk to you.
Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Excuse me?
You can't be serious.
The smile disappears. What?
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard.
20.
In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Oh, what's going on in here?
Welcome, welcome. Not too much actually. Just pleasantly surprised to have company today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
What you can see of his body appears composed in a sharp summer suit and yacht shoes. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Theodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Mr. Diodor, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
You're Dubois.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois.
Dubois.
I must admit, the name suits you very well.
How'd you become so rich?
To be perfectly blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
Refusing French Look, I had enough of French pronunciations last night when, for some reason, I decided to give Stella Valhalla a French accent. I'm having no more of it today. What's it like being an extremely high net worth individual?
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
Capital accumulation its own reward. Don't you think you should use your great wealth to the glory of your fatherland? You're a thief. People out there are working their asses off, but you chilling here. It's great that you've done so well for yourself, but don't you think you owe some of that wealth to the rest of society? Communist!
And that's what? Unjust? I think it's perfectly just.
You're using your money as its own justification.
Listen, Mr. Dubois, I used to be an idealist just like you. But the truth is that we have no objective system by which to measure someone's value other than the market. We should just embrace that rather than resist it. The hand that allocates resources among men is invisible and cruel, but it is steady, measured. Indeed, it is just. Capital makes one speechless, does it not? Blinds like the sun that rises from beyond the horizon after a gloomy winter.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
Thank you. That's what I was going to ask in the first place. There's something strange about you.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know how to put it. You look somehow a little different.
Are you talking about my chin?
No, I mean, I can't even see you, as if something's happening to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth among that group of individuals. It's been observed that when the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual.
What's our coefficient?
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998, repeating. That's not good for you.
So you're telling me that you are so rich that light literally bends around your face?
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
Really?
No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
A man this chill is at least a triple-digit billionaire.
Kim, are you seeing this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
We're in Martinez District Provincial. Pretty good hostel. There's a cool church. There's a creepy abandoned commercial area. Also, yeah, that is incredibly silly. We're in Martinez District of Revachol, former capital of the world.
Revachol. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
Wait, why don't you help them? You've got so much money, it can't make a difference to you.
There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it. Except more seagulls. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that.
So you travel from place to place via shipping container.
Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to.
Grim.
Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois.
So, you're saying being rich isn't worth the hassle?
What? No, I did not say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
The bending light appears to wink. You're a rich investor, right? Can I have some money?
I don't see how it's appropriate for a representative of the law to ask a wealthy person for money. This shines a bad light on the RCM, if you catch my meaning.
Come now. There is not even a cent of corruption here. I'm merely being polite. So, let me check my pockets. As you may know, us high net worth individuals don't have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think I only have coins for coffee machines. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
Thank you for your kindness.
You know,
And to bend more aggressively.
maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
This is a proposal, not a question. These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
Well, conceptualization. Also, yeah, my real counter is
Thanks for stopping by.
okay. God, even the menus. Those are logic. There's conceptualization. Conceptualization. I think that was it. Yeah. We'll say that's it.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Well, might as well make the funny man laugh.
Congratulations. You've somehow managed to fail at failing, which means, in a strange way, that you've succeeded.
Okay. You should invest in a youth center.
A youth center, huh? What kind of youth center?
A place to teach them practical skills, like teamwork and self-discipline. Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
Want to inspire the future leaders of tomorrow to public service.
I like that you are thinking about the future, but couldn't the center have a more economic focus?
I'm dedicated to instilling liberal economic values in children from low net worth families.
Brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future? When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
God, I don't feel good about this. Highly educated, work-ready human capital ready to be directed toward any number of your vast
You're
interests.
deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
I don't like it, conceptualization. What have you done to me?
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual investment opportunities.
Thanks, I guess.
This without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the point of being rich if you have to follow all the rules? Here's a round of seed funding. This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground.
Okay, cool. So it's just up to us, huh? Good, never mind. I suddenly feel great about this this line. Thank you for placing your unwavering trust in me.
Remember, it's not a handout. It's an investment. And I expect to see returns.
The lieutenant
The return of
stands
communism.
there, dumbfounded. His mouth opens slightly, then closes again. Is he having a stroke?
Kim, are you having a stroke?
No, I'm not having a stroke. You're just still full of surprises. Most of them bad, but some good.
The lieutenant has granted you an aura of legitimacy. Bathe in it, but don't let your satisfaction show. Play it cool.
Now, was there anything else I could help you gentlemen with?
Okay, bye.
The pleasure was mine. Unfortunately, I must be away soon. The next time we meet, I'll be expecting an update on my investment. Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
Amazing. How close are we to being gay? Still another hour. Still another half hour. Well, we do unfortunately have 2 ultra liberal points now. Check back in, and the first thing you see, I'm standing in a black hole asking how close I am to being gay. It's a valid question. It's a valid question. But yeah, I was just talking with someone who is literally so much richer than me that light bends around him. That's my vibe, though. Okay. So... I have been told that talking to this man is upsetting, so I'm going to choose not to do that. Oh, hey, we can go in here?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. Fumes of heavy fuel oil waft over you, making your eyes sting. The odor mixes with cigarette residue.
What kind of stickers and insignia?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy rays. It is the seal of Royalist era Revachol.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. And the back seat?
The back end of the cabin is a small perch to sleep. Large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large muscular
I do get the kind of person this driver is.
From Eamdal in the lost city of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
Think this lorry belongs to our tough guy?
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over.
Taking your 60 cents. Is the reason that the invisible hand of the market is invisible because it bends light around it?
Looking for something?
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge, you know.
Okay, so you're just a racist. Makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved. Even people who've studied these things say...
Yeah.
Race is a simplistic means of social classification based on easily observed attributes, hunches, and pseudoscience.
You just look at people who make arbitrary judgments.
The lieutenant tries to remain impassive, but the slight arch of his eyebrow tells you that he's liking it.
As arbitrary as any judgment, that doesn't make it less of a fact. We'll have to use facts, huh?
He is comfortable reciting these thoughts. He's spent quite a lot of time meditating on the subject.
Yeah, I can really tell you're a prime example of superior design.
Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources.
Yeah, what's the problem with that then?
The problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquito.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen?
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fuck
Don't
yourself?
Push your luck, runt.
Um... 22. So yeah, we do still got some time. So, content warning, content warning, content warning. Time to talk to Glacia. How far along are we in the drug trafficking? Very little. I know very little about drug trafficking, actually.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states the intention.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Do you think he was trying to scare people?
No. I'm pretty sure he did all those things. And then had to internalize them to keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe, even.
You learn about this from from studying Orni's Lit. Sounds psychological.
People who go to university know how to use words like internalize and integrate, officer. Now, what was that expression?
There's more to this. She has an index in her head of pathologies and how to exploit them. I can almost see her turn the pages.
Coping mechanism?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that.
Charming.
It was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. Sounded like a deeply troubled man.
He said he was mentally done. That sounds like a broken man to me.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality.
Weren't you afraid?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Now that we've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink, the last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Grim. I feel like I've said that like 3 times this stream. Maybe twice? Grim. Now thrice. Where is Lelystad?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
You're both from Oranje.
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
A military man, but not a patriot?
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
You don't seem like much of a patriot yourself.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Muindi. The old, old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
A column of air encircles her, brushing gently on the metallic silver fabric that covers her shoulders and her long, slender arms.
Revachol loves everybody.
It didn't love him.
The feeling dissipates. The cold passes. The woman's eyes follow yours to the piece of notebook paper.
How old was he, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no, we even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Thanks, plain fresh old.
The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you. She's clearly sensing something. A spike in testosterone levels, perhaps.
His eye color.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
You liked it?
Quite a lot, yes.
It was in Orny's map of the waterways?
Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
This Orny's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Orani's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this?
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me precisely what these mean?
No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some on the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
A very fun story.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
I think we're done with this line of questioning.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Talk about your room. That window is new.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
Quite the collection of prescription jogs down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Narcomania is nothing to be proud of, miss.
What did you say?
Nothing.
No, no. You said narcomania. What kind of word is that?
In my head, it designates people who abuse substances.
Mm-hmm. I.e. narcomaniacs.
The collection includes Naka, an opioid antagonist.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry.
That's all as far as that goes,
Very funky.
then.
Alright.
She looks at chipped white
Pretty. Looks like a dried Maybell.
or an admirer. She watches you pocket the petals, then closes her eyes.
Okay. Thought
as she
there might be
breathes
more
in
to that
the
since we
cigarette fumes.
investigated the flower, but anyway,
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
yeah,
How
nope.
about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now? Sure. The record. So official.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T-500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
Okay. I assume this means we will need to shoot some people that are wearing armor. Or at least have the opportunity to. Reaction speed is more useful in a pinch. What if we put on a silly hat and cancel it out with some boots? Good enough.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
That's what she said, yeah.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Where is this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Kim, how old do you think I am?
Huh?
How old do I look?
How old? 58?
Oh my god, that's really old. Really?
You asked.
Probably right. It's about what I look.
Actually, make that 54. Alcoholism has severely impacted your appearance, and I was wrong about the age of the deceased.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I am not afraid of the
To
truth.
the laboratorium.
We have thought to remember our birthday? Unfortunately, my head is just just too full to remember my birthday. Oh boy. Oxiditis, B. Well, guess that's all for now.
This window.
In this window. Also, how many people you killed? And, like, years of service and cases closed, right? Oh, that's the ledger? Well, I sure do remember important facts.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
Got a new joke.
And
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens. Jaw sets. Ready for another blow.
And nothing. She stands by what she said.
that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
It's dark stuff, but it didn't prove anything and it didn't change her mind.
Dark?
Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her. What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
It did not come as a surprise to her, and she definitely wasn't scared.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. Fucking.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
I think you had a lie planned, but you didn't play along.
I ask for your opinion. Not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma.
This tape was the last chance for her to do what was planned.
But she didn't. She knows she can't lie to us, unlike you.
Fantastic. So now, you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here.
Yeah, guys. We should get a party going tonight.
Why?
Maybe not then.
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation.
Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. They're confused. This is growing over their heads.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!" That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Well, we did just up our rhetoric.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Claudia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside in the evening light, ruined and old, shadows lengthen on the pavement. A distant gunshot.
Okay. That's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim.
Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, we'll just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Let's see. More than class yet. It's about their district responsibility. Because you work for the wrong people.
Damn right. This is Union Town. You work for the company, we will kill you.
Fuck, Dennis. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor works for the company.
Work for the wrong company, and they execute you.
They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
What happens if I keep talking? Gonna kill me too? In this bar for nothing?
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm too old for a shot like that now.
Hear that, Angus? They're gonna kill me too.
Suddenly, there's an awful ringing in your ears. Your body temperature spikes. You're burning all over with fear. To your right, you sense the air move. The lieutenant draws his firearm. You only manage to perform one more movement. An instinctive jerk to your left. Then, no sound. No one screams. It's impossible to say where it comes from. More dead cops.
Damn.
As the bodies of 2 police officers are found floating in the canal. It is believed the officers were pursuing a murder investigation, but
I sure did choose wrong.
Workers' strike and were gunned down under unclear circumstances. Such needless loss of life is truly tragic, a local union leader, Everard Clare, commented, and added that although the event is truly horrid, we can expect similar incidents to follow if right-wing vigilantes are allowed to run around uncontrolled and try to wriggle their way into well-organized neighborhoods.
Oh, we can't even continue. Oh god, is that how far back we... That can't be how far back we saved, right? Fuck me. Okay, less funny now. Well...
You're back before the cargo container. It's...
Oh.
The door stands.
Satisfied?
Try it, just like...
You can't.
The man, the feeling causes all some things. I'm trying to fit in the general state.
I mean, I didn't expect to be murdered in
as you utter.
in the bar, but
You can't.
Now, who here anyhow?
Mr. Diodore?
Pleasure to meet people all I...
Actually, at the level this guy is.
But some of my lower net worth friends, that's what. I'm just listen, Mr. The hand that allocates resource capital.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
What do you mean? Are you talking? Oh.
The Weiss-Wieserman coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient, the Weiss point, that's not.
Among other things. That's good.
I see nothing.
Yes. Traveling. By the way, let me now ask. It's a they're simply are spending money. Smart luxury yachts. What? No.
I don't see.
Come now. As you may, here is 3 real. You're well. Maybe.
This is these ultra-liberal types. Lovely, congratulations. A place to teach them practical skills. Like, come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
Brilliant. When life closes a door.
You're deep into ultra.
Very impressive. I don't know. Years around, I've seen. Remember?
The lieutenant, is he having a stroke?
No, I'm...
The lieutenant...
Now, was there any... The pleasure fair...
But yeah, I was admitting to not be instantly killed. Like, I was well aware that I was playing playing pretty dangerous there. Not dead from full health dangerous though. So now I know that this game can kill you for for poor decisions.
A lorry stuck. The windows up. Fumes. The back end of a book.
Racist.
The drive. Alarm. It is the sea.
Likely, yes.
There he is.
Hmm. Impressed by my memory of what we've done. I mean, the thing about this game is that you spend a lot of time in... You spend a lot of time in, like, the same places. So, it's less remembering, like, so much, and more just, okay, I went here, I checked this, I checked this, I checked this.
Officer.
She put with a soft... This does not... She doesn't.
It's interesting.
Does he say he's gonna do it? Yeah. Did he say whore? He wasn't actually there. No.
She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe.
People who...
There's more to this.
Running joke. He was like...
When he said he was done.
Well... Afraid of what? Head on.
Did he tell you?
No.
There is a small... What kind of...
Thank you for click.
She takes a very small...
Yeah? Thank you. What did you say? No, no. Mm-hmm. Comes in...
Is that something?
Better safe than... Very funky. It is.
The lieutenant... He finds the answer unsatisfying.
All right.
Like for...
Actually, off...
A nickname?
I guess.
Le list. We have a few...
The last missing... The Leylistad.
You were almost right, officer. Did that...
No love for Mother Araignée. But was it he ate?
He was by no means a stupid man. I love rap.
A column of air. The feeling dissipates.
40...
He had met... We even...
Looks like you were...
Points aren't good. Have what they... She's clearly said...
Part...
He had...
Yeah.
Ah.
In that...
The late Araignée.
This means his race was occidental, which fits the statements of another witness.
Yes.
Did...
No love for Mother Araignée.
You...
Whoops.
A column of air.
It did...
The feeling dissipates.
Quite a lot. Yes. How?
Is this Araignée?
Yes. And so it goes. No.
Go on.
He went to Killer Academy. It is when you're high. Is the Union communist? They're
Whoops.
not hardcore in that way.
Didn't mean to click that one.
What are we talking about anyway?
I think she's just tired. She doesn't know what you meant by that. And can you blame her?
Shit, did I say a fascist thing?
All right. Coolly. Gracefully. Fair weather.
Cool.
Wait. Stop. That man. Below. You could ask either one of them.
How old? You asked. He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
Alcohol has a similar effect on living tissue, I hear.
Silence. Then a little more. Here it comes. Mercy.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Wait. This to the labyrinth.
Okay. And like that, in about 5 minutes, we are where we were in an hour and a half. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, we had a quench and dilate. Thanks.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
Anne, He tenses immediately. That fucker wasn't.
What did she have to say then? Fine.
Yes.
Funny.
Seems
All right.
Please.
This is just
you don't have to say everything out loud.
But she didn't.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Why?
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the.
All right.
There's less thick of
Come on.
You know, next night. Yeah.
on the fruit.
What is?
How do we make 100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Convince Tyke just outside in the evening light.
Huh?
He'll get it.
Got it. Kill you,
God, fuck it.
work for the wrong company, and
It wasn't.
That's
Officer.
Fire up. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
Okay. So this was excuse me. This is where we went wrong, trying to make a power play rather than leaning on, just continuing to lean on the weak link. Anyway, hi there, Audia. Thank you for the half lurk. Thank you for the half lurk. Angus.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when.
Shut up, Angus.
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have their moment.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
Sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
Kim, we did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
you hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Cause the
Why?
girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural. There's another girl. Two of them.
Oh
Take
right,
note
I
of
didn't
this.
put on my
They'll
funky
probably say
hat.
more about her
Oops.
Later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How'd
I've
you
done
know?
this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
What a time to figure something out about yourself.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess.
Glad you didn't kill him. Why the cover up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
Kind of shit are we talking about?
That can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
Who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly a afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So, who killed the Merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
You had ideas about his past too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
You literally prolonged this dance as far as it has been.
These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Earlier you said the girls asked for your help. Who was the other?
That's right. It
Or
her
was that the
idea
other?
to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
That's her, isn't it? Missing eighth party? That's the other girl?
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
I'll see it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You know, it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy Boys. And that's it.
Shame. Let's see. Can you tell me anything about this affiliate? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klausya you want to talk to.
Thank you for this, Titus. I could talk to her for the last
You
time.
do that. Hey, cop. Before you go,
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
she, Klausya, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
You would still prefer if we didn't take her away.
that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
Hey, Kim, by the way,
Homosexual underground. Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own and other people's sexuality. Feels like it's about time to do that. You thought about this for 8 hours? Not only should you stop, you should tell Kim you've stopped obsessing about other people's sexuality too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Unless you already got him killed because you were obsessing about your sexuality. There's no way of telling from within your brain. But for your own sake, please say you didn't.
is that a possibility? Well, bonus. Stop obsessing about sexuality. We don't get any stat bonuses or anything, just...
Yes?
I have big news, Kim. I'm no longer obsessing over my sexuality.
Okay.
I've managed to stop obsessing about my sexuality.
Great. Imagine all the time you'll have for work now. Matter of fact, we should get back to it right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just one thing, though.
What?
Are you part of the homosexual underground.
You didn't stop at all, did you? You are just obsessing about other people's sexuality now.
That's a success. Yeah, but...
But am I? I'll spare you another 20-hour mine project. Yes, I am. Now let's get back to work.
That's the truth.
Thank you, drama. Good. Excellent. Hey, I did some self-discovery.
Hi again, Gendarme. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Excellent. Good. Also, before I forget, I am going to put on my funny people and boots. It would be fun to have more of a discussion with the smoker, but alas. I'll take it where it stands. It's very funny, for literally the only benefit you get from internalizing that is just getting that little fact about Kim. I wouldn't want to cheapen that.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Already boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You don't look surprised. You were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush. I can't hear what she's saying. Let the mist speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
Mm-hmm.
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, wine dark in the evening light.
What lies beyond it?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder, afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What's going on? What'd you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
Yep, that's why we've really beefed up our logic, so we can have such elucidations as this.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Luskop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Sure, there are people who've done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
Papalolo was the funny answer, but I don't think that would send exactly the right message.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
What did you do?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
She says it quickly, like she said it 100 times, to herself, to get used to the idea, out of guilt.
That's not easy to deal with.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it?
I don't either.
There you have it. The way of the warrior.
What happened to you the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss?
Oh.
I'm sorry this happened to you.
So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off. Much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines. Just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What'd you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up. Drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor. Slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room. Into the hallway. Down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them. And out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection. As far as you can.
Why didn't you run away from here? As a matter of fact, why are you here now?
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who's Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Okay, let's go on then. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being...
Knew it. The coloring in his lower limbs looked faint.
About half an hour had passed since the moment of death.
She nods.
You were late. The marks would be faint by that time.
Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What'd you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
Where's this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
Did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
It probably didn't. Or they probably would have taken a second shot.
Or I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Why'd you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you'd have us believe, but you're not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
Inner bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or...
Well, time to get my drum on. What? What a goddamn look.
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous?
Damn right I'm dangerous.
You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
Officer, what brings you up here in the right?
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to.
God damn it,
She
drama.
could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o'-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Oh my god, drama. Your real name isn't Claudia Mandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good. You can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Elysium.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism.
Hold on. Katarzyna is not an Orni's name, is it? Not even Mundi. It's Grad.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranie. Alasia is my father's name.
Finally we meet Katarzyna Alasia.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
You're probably not even Miss Orania 37, are you?
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can, for lying.
Okay.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
I don't want to follow any of these. Why have we not arrested her
There may
yet?
be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
It's one of those cases where it's actually high stat. It certainly seems like a downside. Okay.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
I think that this is a game that is best served role-played, essentially. I think that even as a content creator, trying to look at this from the lens of, let's get all the dialogue we can, is coming at it from the wrong sort of mentality. I'm sure I could do another playthrough where I am more of an asshole or more of a hard ass, and where I would pursue her further. I personally, me, Cricket, with like in front of an audience live, don't feel entirely comfortable pursuing that line. Yes? Yes. I'm not an asshole. I'm just saying that I'm not playing this specifically to get all the dialogue. Even if it's funny.
It's you again. What is it?
Talk to Glacia, then I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
Veritable instinct whispers her name into my ear. Civil war is brewing. The only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pick Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
Well, I feel like we, staged like a play.
A sudden flash of light
Still got
in the cortex. The hostile
still got an
cafeteria
11.
is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go out for fresh air for a smoke?
No.
That's a lie.
You know that's not the case.
All right, she took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out, too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
This complex operation is probably something illegal.
Fair shake.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
Okay. You do agree the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
Oh.
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
Go on, Kim.
Thank you.
The lieutenant is glad he got the floor plan right there.
From there, the door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
Have you noticed the winch out back? The outer wall of the whirling?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
That's right.
That's wall mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
Also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints. Recent.
He looks tough,
Recent.
but there is a nervous twitch in his dark green eye. This is all too close to home for him. The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
Recent, a week or two.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that call. Good news is, I'm still listening.
Remember that key I found here?
I don't like guessing, Cole. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old. Faded. It'd have been there for 20 years at least.
She could have just put it back there when she was done.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits, and he knows it.
Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But...
there are weapons like this just lying around in white news.
That looks antique. A Belle McGray. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a cellar near the bookshop. It was hidden there with others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay. I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
They analyzed the bullet that killed him, who was jacketed.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
You just showed him a breech loading gun.
Just showed you a breech loader that any child could have.
A broken old broomstick is what you showed me. But point taken.
Time to really close the deal. Show them the bullet.
This is the bullet that did it. 4.46 millimeters, not milliliters. The Bell Margrave uses the same caliber.
The blonde man looks at the mushroomed Deathbringer in the evidence bag and says,
Yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4mm too.
Whoa.
Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. You have been thorough. I'll give you that.
Didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
All right. Keep talking. I'm getting a bit curious about some things myself.
Pete, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up?
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Closio wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Sure, Eugene, let's assume you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
You have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However, hard I asked. Wanna know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
When'd she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
As in the RCM?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
No wonder she's afraid I've come to declare the ending of the human experiment. She probably knew me from my singing. I'm sorry, God. Just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head. I'm sorry. God, why does everything flee at the sight of my shadow?
It seems you have that effect. Especially on women.
Right. That's the second one now who's trying to flee you.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Won't stop.
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up, like cans.
And then when they're all empty, just move on to the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having to go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
That true, Kim? My can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught Pete. But she was too scared.
Any clues on where she went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
No. You're all here. Who's out looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
So she didn't go to tell Evrard.
No one goes to tell Evrard anything. He knows what he has to know. Fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, how should I start looking?
Sure. There are some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Not much, but it'll do. Go.
It'll have to.
Chick.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna take these pennies, by the way. Okay, bye. Also, I'm realizing that we never took a proper look at the window. Boop. Boop. Is that it? Maybe that was it. That works.
This window is pristine on the inside. Unlike the one next, the golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
Position.
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Where's it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm, what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%. With an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belma-grave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies.
The shot have come from inside the room, closer point.
X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Any arguments against A Prime the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Sure.
You would need a map for that. A map of Martinez.
Where can I get a map of Martinez?
Bookstore. They have maps. You're thinking, what if the shot didn't come from the roof, right?
Yes.
Good. We should come back with the map and compare the landscape to the radius of the shot.
So... yeah, I figured it as much. However... it is getting a little late, but yes, I did at least want to do the communist meeting. I promised it in the Twitter post. But I will get my gun, presumably on Sunday. Oh, right. Flashlights. Those are a thing. Those are a thing that I need. Tools. That makes more sense.
A dusty radio computer sleeps on its wired frame.
Another radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120. Equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Should I turn it on?
It's your call. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Boop.
Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
Boop.
Nothing happens. Something's missing.
Boop.
Nothing happens. Your flashlight slides over. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a
tortured feverish mind.
You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin. Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
It's a Welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Well, this has been educational.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
Anyway. Time to bring 2 cops, only one of which is a communist, to the communist meeting. What did
This
you?
coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm.
Poor thing. Is the fascist route one where you pretend to be an elf? Hello? Book.
Hello again, officers.
In here. No.
As you approach the metal grill,
Uh-huh.
you hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure.
Use your rhetoric.
No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours.
Didn't you say the secret door was right behind you?
Must have slipped my mind. You know how it goes.
The metal grill is cool to the touch.
It's cool to the touch. Turn up the heat if it gets too much.
You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid. His right hand hovers near the zipper of his jacket. He wants so badly to draw his armistice, but he also doesn't want to draw it.
You okay, Kim?
Oh, I'm fine. I was practically born to infiltrate underground communist cells. Which is just to say, we should be prepared for any eventuality.
You can make out at least 2 separate voices. 2 voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
Knock, knock.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
Are you all communists? Looking for some
Who
communists?
said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built like 0.0001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. Can you help me?
For a moment, silence. A slight sensation of static electricity as before a storm. A miniature conference is taking place inside, and you are the subject.
What's the passphrase?
It's Remember Dobreva and Abadanais.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way. No, they're still there. You can feel them back there.
Alright. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Have fun at your underground meeting, Pig. Hope it's a blast.
It will be. Thank you, Cindy.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor. Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like they want them to collapse.
Careful, careful.
You're not going to build communism with shoddy craftsmanship like that.
Damn, hardly any difference. You two, you are late.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
We literally spent like 10 minutes just negotiating with you to get in.
There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders, more than someone his age should bear. Meanwhile, his companion inclines toward him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend's mouth. Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along.
My apologies, comrades. I had to be sure I wasn't being tailed by our class enemies. Also, yeah, like, of course, they are young communists. It probably means they're queer. We cannot sit on couches normally.
He's taken your measure, like an ideological boxer stepping into the ring. This must be the theory combat the Boyadero warned you about. On guard.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to win this one.
The reading, yes. You've definitely done that one.
You have. Excellent. Let's hear your critique then.
Thought the themes were interesting.
They always say that when they haven't done the reading. Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Maybe they can explain themselves.
What exactly are you two doing here?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinaise.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club.
Sounds like a great place for intense intellectual engagement. Exactly my kind of jam.
That's our whole thing. The world is so shallow, all noise and repetition. We're interested in genuinely radical critique.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Says the Echo Maker, who has been repeating everything Steban says. I see you, writers.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Okay, what does your reading group actually read?
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
For some reason, the word plasm catches in your ear like a piece of old wax. Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
Nope. These are my comrades. This is important.
We've also read Wertmüller's The Megastructure of History. And before that, Real and reality.
Communist theorists love puns, in case that wasn't obvious.
Hablas un pain infernal.
The original Fizdale translation, not that watered-down revisionist garbage.
These two deserve the Order of Honor for bullshitting. There's no way they've actually read all this stuff.
Obviously.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignis Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Who are these inframaterialists?
You're not familiar with them? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet, Gendarme.
Okay, then who's this Ignis Nilsson guy?
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
I'm so sorry, Encyclopedia.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Those words again. You've got to find out what this inframaterialist stuff is all about. Whatever it is, one thing's perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do. You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them you're one of them. The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
What were you doing with those matchboxes just now?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results.
Is the reading group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics. But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Steban, you can't be serious. For these gendarmes?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, I still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process. Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Some literate nematode. Where's the rest of the reading group?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
Two's all you need. Me and Kim are the same way.
Kim and I. We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
What happened to him?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
Imagine the audacity of wanting to read a novel in a reading group.
Novels. Unbelievable.
See? Even the gendarme gets it.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
What's so bad about the Godwaldians?
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald.
What's so depressing about their theories?
The Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
Sounds miserable.
It is miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide. You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
Okay, what about the iconoclasts?
For starters, they love talking about beans.
Beans?
That's right. Iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future.
Nota bene, iconoclast is an extra pejorative form of the already pejorative name, Mazovian economists, a moderate school of Mazovianism which advocates the gradual transition to communism through carefully managed economic modernization rather than violent social revolution.
Beans.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah yes, the much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
Isn't it good to know how many beans there are?
See? You're already falling for that scarcity logic. You start off assuming there aren't enough beans to go around. So naturally you want to cut the bean rations in half. And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
And what about the liberals? Are they liberals too?
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Okay, this is definitely how you know that communists made this game. Is Cindy part of the group?
Cindy is... how to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course.
Say something about turnips?
It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Oh, a real intellectual, it sounds like.
Right. So a few weeks ago we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said, what were his exact words, Ulexis?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
Remember what this inframaterialist theory says about turnips again?
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
Totally understand. For sure.
Of course you do. It's pretty basic stuff.
So you expelled Maurice from the reading group over an argument about turnips?
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Go ahead.
So, subliterate nematode means that zero means that this is always going to be zero. It's not a minus whatever. It's literally times zero. So, I guess we need to learn how to read first. Will you still be here if I have more questions?
Sure. We're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Sleep well, gendarme.
Coffee. Love a good sludge. Or a class war. Cindy's. Try not to think about the cracks firing out from the floor. Well, cool. I guess we should learn how to read. But we will leave this for Sunday. Well, la-di-da, look who's literate. Um, okay. Well, we are going to call it for now. But we will be back for more Disco Elysium on Sunday. We will presumably talk to the pigs and get a gun back. We'll probably, while we're over there, replace some bug and see what's going on with Ruby, huh? So, see if there's anyone else online that we want to read. You can get some muted sub reading by just saying there were too many words. So I'm going to give my lovely gaze the choice between Get in the Car Loser and Threads of Fate. The books in the game are great. I will definitely need to dedicate some more time to reading some books. What is Threads of Fate? Good question. Let's consult my memory. Oh god, that bit has stuck around from boss streams. Threads of Fate is a 1999 RPG from on the original PlayStation, or action RPG, something like that. So, do we want classic RPGs or modern takes on I think Get in the Car Loser is like a modern queer turn-based RPG. And Threads of Fate is an old action RPG. Oh, it was Square before the Enix merger. Huh. Love an old game? Are we leaning toward Threads of Fate then? Okay. Cool. So, in that case, we are going to send this over to Spiky Dino Star. So, we will start this raid up. Frank, as always, has been kind enough to put our raid messages there in chat. There are, there's an emote version if you're subscribed, emoji version if you're not. But this has been fun, even with losing an amount of progress toward the middle there because we got shot. But yeah, very much looking forward to playing more of this. So I will see you again on Sunday. I believe Wednesday we should still be good for more streams over on Vositis Nox's channel, probably finishing up Valhalla pretty soon. But otherwise, I really want to thank everyone for stopping by, even with the change of schedule. Everyone who lurked, everyone who came by and was excited about the game, gave their expertise, their input, encouraged me to make bad decisions. Really, to everyone who has chosen to gaze long into the abyss, note that the abyss gazes back, and I'll be seeing you again real soon, huh? Also, thank you for the Quentin Dilate. I promise I will do that as soon as stream is over. Okay.